Rebel commander Jamal معروف is credited with being the first to shoot down a government fighter jet, a rare victory against the powerful Syrian Air Force. معروف leads the Syrian Martyrs Brigade, a rebel group which is looking for help anywhere it can find it. He told us he's received guns and ammunition from outside Syria, but he's had to capture heavy weapons like this tank from the Syrian army. He took us to the city of Marat Noman in northern Syria to show us what the government forces are doing. This is a civilian area, he told us. They hit this area randomly even though there are no fighters here. Jamal معروف and his men told us that they were able to push regime forces out of this city in just 24 hours. But now the real battle begins. The few residents who still live here told us that 2/3 of the city looks like this. Suddenly, we heard a government fighter jet wheel overhead, followed by the sound of anti-aircraft fire. Nervous residents scanned the skies to see where the plane would drop its bombs. A short time later, we saw for ourselves 6 bombs had landed on the tiny village where we were staying. Neighbors frantically tried to dig out the body of a woman as her daughter cursed Syrian President Assad. 2 women and a girl were killed. 1 bomb hit the house next to our sleeping quarters. This was not a precision attack. Residents showed us proof, a parachute attached to one of the bombs. There's no control as they drift down from the sky, killing indiscriminately. The villagers believed the intent was to terrorize them. That night, the commander was focused on how to limit Assad's ability to bomb at will. What would you like to see the U.S. government do in Syria? Right now, we still don't have a no-fly zone, he said, and the regime is using long-range missiles. If we had a no-fly zone, we could take down the regime in a matter of weeks. And if the U.S. doesn't help and the international community doesn't get involved, what do you think will happen? Either we will win the revolution, he said, or else the Syrian people will be wiped out.
So, what of the Syrian people? Clarissa Ward has made her way out of Syria and is joining us in Turkey tonight. Clarissa, what is it like to be a Syrian resident in that part of the country?
It's incredibly challenging, Scott. The people in the house that we were living in, while they weren't actually injured by the blast, all of the windows in the house were blown in, their furniture was broken, but more than that, the psychological devastation of witnessing an attack like that. One woman went into a complete state of shock. She was shivering uncontrollably. She kept repeating over and over again, "Tayyara, tayyara," plane, plane. She was hallucinating, and you realize that the devastating damage that these bombs do is not just physical, it's mental too.
The terrible psychological impact of the Syrian Air Force. Clarissa Ward, thank you very much.